Hey everybody, and welcome to a new episode of How to Lighten Up Your Photo on Your Cell Phone. I'm Giselle Behrens, and this is Photo TV directly from New York City, with live tutorials every day at 12 p.m. and at 3 p.m. If you do appreciate the video at the end, please do remember to subscribe or just go ahead and hit it now, because a lot more tutorials are coming up to help you look like a better photographer and make better photos with the photos you already have. And also like that video if you do appreciate it and you feel that you learned something. So let's start. Today's photo is from Marcel Strauß. So thank you so much, Marcel. And I found this photo on a web page that is called UNSPLASH.com. You can find a lot of photos free for use, so I definitely recommend you guys to check it out. You can download the same photo so you can follow along on the tutorial below in the description of the photo, as well as the Snapseed app, and for iOS or for Android. So if you're using iPhone or a Samsung, whichever you're using, you can just go ahead and download that app. So let's start. Right now, I'm over here. Hey everybody. And I have my cell phone on my hand. And the screen that I have right here to my right is live. So whatever adjustments I am doing them live. If you have any questions, just feel free to write them up in our live chat. And if you're watching the recorded version, just write them down in the description area. So I'm going to start. Make sure that you already have downloaded your Snapseed app. It is by Google and it's free of charge, so they make our life so much happier, easier as photographers on the go. I'm just going to hit on my plus sign when I do have my app open, and I'm going to locate this photo that I downloaded from unsplash.com. Now, thank you, Marcel. This photo is so beautiful. And probably his intention as a photographer was to leave it dark. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we are going to be lightening up, because many times when we do take photos with our cell phones, they do appear to be a little bit different from reality, and they might appear dark, especially if you have a background which is lit that creates darkness on the faces. So we want to go ahead and start editing this photo. The first thing to have better control. So here they are. That's the app that I was trying to open. So I'm going to go down to Tools, and I'm going to hit Tune Image. Because it's so dark, the first adjustment that we want to do is brightness. To make pop up the menu, you're just going to leave your thumb pressed, and you're going to be able to scroll up and down through the menu with your thumb pressed on the screen. So we're going to start from top to bottom and start with the brightness. Now this photo is dark, so we're just going to push the brightness all the way to the right and just hit the check mark. And we're going to do a little trick, and we're going to reopen Tools and then Tune Image again, the same tool. And now we're going to add a little bit more brightness. Around 30 is good. So if you notice, all of our blacks as well started becoming a little bit too bright, but I'm really happy where her face is. So we're going to start adding some contrast. I'm going to look in my menu for the contrast button and just slide my finger all the way to the right and see how the contrast affects my image. So you can see that the blacks start popping out and becoming richer and denser. And I think that around 70, I'm good. Now come down, and in saturation, we can augment as well the saturation to give her just that nice and warm tint on her cheeks, which is orange, and that's probably because the photo might have been taken during the sunset. And you can see how the sun looks so beautiful as well over here on the trees on the background. So I'm good with my saturation right there. And then in ambience, you can go to the right with your finger, or you can go to the left. And I really like how it goes darker when I go with my finger to the left. So I'm just gonna leave it negative in around 30. Go again to my pop-up and this time go to warmth. In warmth, I'm going to slowly add some warmth just to give it that warmness. And by warmness, it's adding some yellow tones to it. And I think that there I'm okay for my first adjustment. So you can go ahead, press your check mark over here. And to check the before and after when you're on your main screen, just leave your thumb pressed and you're gonna see how drastic the adjustments were just by doing these tune images and these adjustments. So if you're happy with your image up to there and you just want to do a really quick adjustment, this is it, and this is how you can manage an adjustment really quickly. If you do want to take your portrait a little bit further, we're gonna go ahead and press on tools, and now I want you to press on crop. I want to have a nice and tight crop, so I also want to make sure that my scale is set and my proportions are set to original, because I don't want to shift the proportion. So just dragging my finger down is going to maintain the proportion of the image right there, and you can drag the small cropping area with your finger. And I think around there is good. I'm going to open it just a little bit more so my line of the 3/3 rule is right on top of her eyes. I think around there is good. So I'm going to press my check mark, and now I'm going to have a closer up look at her. Go ahead and press tools again, and now look for Vignette. Vignette, we're going to use this to separate the subject a little bit from the background. So when you do come up, you see a blue dot. You can just drag this around with your finger and open it up with a pinching form with your 2 fingers on the screen. You can open or close it up. And I'm just going to leave it so her part of her chest and her face are inside of the circle. And this way we'll make sure that any adjustments for darkness will not affect her face. It automatically comes to around -50. I just added like 7 points, so -57. And I'm going to hit check mark. Now I want to make her pop out of the background, and the background is so light that I'm going to darken up her awesome sweater because it's so beautiful. I want to darken it up, and I'm going to use Selective for that. So just press on Selective and making sure that your plus sign is bright blue. This is going to make sure that you add a new selective adjustment. Just tap on her sweater. With your 2 fingers, do a zoom-like pinch, and anything red is going to be the mask that's adjusting that is affected by the adjustments you're doing. So I'm just going to leave it on her sweater and make sure it does not go to her face. So around there is good. And now with my thumb, drag it to the left. And you can see by pressing the before and after inside of the adjustment, this button over here, how her sweater became darker and she's starting to pop out more in the photo. So I'm going to press my check mark, and I'm going to go to a really cool tip and trick under tools, which is called portrait. So portrait is going to automatically find the faces you have in your image, and you're going to have the ability to add light only to the face area. So if I just added 100% so you can see the adjustment before, after, so it adds luminosity to the face while just darkening up a little bit the surroundings. So I'm gonna go down to 0 and just slowly augment it. I think around 40 is good. Then bring up your pop-up menu, and in skin smoothing, we're going to zoom in. She has these awesome freckles, so we don't want to do too much skin smoothing, just a little bit, around 20, because I don't want them to disappear. I really like them a lot. And now we're going to go to eye clarity. And in eye clarity, take a look at her eyes. I'm going to go ahead and push it all the way to the right, just so you guys can see the adjustment. Now she looks a little bit crazy with the white eyes like that. So I'm going to go down to 0 and just slowly augment. She has a deep blue color, and this eye clarity is especially awesome when you do have a subject with lighter colors on her eyes because they really stand out more. And you can also fix the white in the eyes to make them cleaner. I think I'm going to leave it at around 33. So if you do the before and after, you see how her face starts popping up a little bit more. Right there. I'm going to press check mark and do one more trick, which I absolutely love to do when I'm doing portraits, and it is the lens blur. So lens blur gives you great control over blurring the background or blurring any elements that you want in the photo. What I really love about this tool is that you can drag the blue dot around and you can adjust with an oval shape like the area that it's going to be excluded from the blur side. So with your two fingers, you can really have any shape within an oval and a circle. And right now, I'm just going to leave it in an oval. So it's nice around the subject, and anything that is on the outside over here, here, and here is going to be blurred out. So I think that the blur strength, this one was already blurred on the background, but I want to give it that extra touch. And I'm just going to pinch her in a little bit more so she is completely sharp. You can pop up the menu and it's going to give you transition option, and that transition is how smooth you want the difference of the sharpness to the blur effect of the filter to come up. I think around there I'm good. And Vignette, it automatically adds 30 points on vignetting, which I absolutely love because then the background starts becoming darker and our subject starts popping out. And I think I'm good over here. So now we can check our before and our after, and you can see how beautiful she starts popping out of this background. And this means that you can recover so many photos that you thought that were lost because they were too dark. Now you can just go ahead and download the Snapseed app and fix this photo for you. Now, here's the before and after. You can appreciate them side by side. And if you did learn on this tutorial, please do remember to subscribe so you get that notification. You can also turn on that bell so every time that we have a new tutorial, a little pop-up appears and you can learn and fix more of your photos. Thank you so much for watching. Giselle Behrens from New York City for Photo TV NYC. Bye everybody. See you live at 3 p.m. today.